Okay, let's go ahead and let's switch on over. We're going to be doing some reading tonight. We're going to be reading Dracula. Oh, you know what? I just realized I have double book. Let me... You know what? That's fine. We'll have double book. Or, actually, I will... Let's go ahead and turn off some of these. Thank you for the care package. Let me go ahead and... Let me do that really quick. Let's sit up, tilt your head to the left. And tilt your head to the right. Look up. Look down. Oof. Ooh, sit up and drink some water. Thank you for the care package. Okay. Do I want that book? Or this book? Yeah, we'll use this book. This is a good one. And then I'll just put the table away. That works for me. Alright. So we are on... Hi Mansform, welcome in. We're on chapter 9 of Dracula. If you guys would like to join us, you can do ! book. That's not how you do it. There you go. And that is the link to the book. And like I said, we are on chapter 9. So if you guys would like to join us, that is where we are. What we are reading... Sneak over here too. Oh my god, good. What we are reading right now is Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Hi Ian, welcome in. Hi, how are you? And basically what we've seen so far is Jonathan Harker goes to Dracula's castle and a bunch of weird stuff starts happening, and that's when he realizes on the last day... Envo, hi! Thank you so much for the resub. As always, let me actually go ahead and add some kisses. We are reading, but that doesn't mean we can't do our usual like one kiss. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. Let me do this so you guys can actually see it too. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll do the kisses really quick, because I think I owe 2. Yes, I owe 2 kisses to be added to the model for today. One for Envo. Envo, I'm gonna give you a green one. Hi, Hex Moser, thanks for the follow. And Flora, thanks for the follow. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's put this one. Actually gonna put this one right here, right on my collarbone. And though you're gonna get the one that's on my collarbone. Put it right there. There you go. And then we got one also for... Oh, shit. Let me actually do this. Lock my character in place so I don't move around so much. Oh. And I need one more for, I believe it was Siren. Yes, one for Siren. Let's get a blue one. We'll do another kiss. We'll put it here on this shoulder. There you go. Siren came over and okay, not on that shoulder because you can't see it now. We'll put it right here. think that's a good spot. I'll put it right here, right on the scar. And it's attached to my hair. It's still attached to my hair. There we go. Perfect. There you go, Siren. Alright. And we are all ready. Okay, let's get nice and cozy because we're going to do some reading of Dracula, like I said, chapter 9. If you guys want to follow along, you can do Extra Point book and you get the link that way. Kit, you want an ara? I'll make sure I didn't miss anything else. Hi, Max. Welcome in. Hi, Obliterator. Hi. Welcome in, welcome in. Monica is best for reading. This is true. Heard my name? Yeah, because you subbed earlier today, so I added the kiss, which stays for the entire night for the sub on ASMR nights. Okay, Kit. Eres un tesoro para mí. Kit, eres un tesoro para mí. Thank you so much for the redeem. 7 stream streak. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and let's tuck in. Let's get our blankets on our laps. Let's get our hoodies on, our sweaters in my case. Let's get our glasses and let's get to reading. So like I said, we're on chapter 9, but everything that's happened so far is Jonathan has met Count Dracula and he has found out that he is not what he seems, that there's some kind of monstrous something to him, but he doesn't know quite what it is. And he tries to escape the castle, but the Count is basically doing everything in his power to make sure that he doesn't. So while that's happening, Mina and her friend Lucy are by the shore, and a bunch of things are going on in Lucy's mind. She has 3 men who are after her, and eventually she says yes to one of them when they propose to her. There's a doctor at an insane asylum. There's a rich American, and there is I think as a lawyer. I think that's what he ends up being. And she says yes to, I think his name is Anthony or Andrew, something with an A. She says yes to the lawyer guy. But what ends up happening is something is going on with Lucy that makes her walk around at night in her sleep. And so Mina is doing her best to try and keep her from like leaving the room because the girls are sharing a room. And I believe they're like at their like estate. And what ends up happening is Lucy gets out of the room somehow. And when Mina finds out where she is, she's like sickly looking. So she calls the doctor friend of hers, and he comes and he, you know, tries to find a way to help Lucy. And eventually she kind of like gets better on her own for a little while. And once she starts getting better, Mina finally hears from Jonathan, and so she leaves to go find him at a hospital. And so while they're at the hospital, they get married. Who hurt Lucy? What? Oh, no, not Lucy. We're talking about in the game. We're talking about not in the game, sorry, in the story. And so then, so Lucy is left by herself, and her mom return. Thank you for the head pat. Hi, Cole. Hi, Ivan. Welcome in. How are you? Ellie. Hi, beautiful. How are you? So Lucy and her mom go back to London, and that's when she starts getting like really, really sick, right? So that's when the doctor, the one that I said worked at an insane asylum, he enlists the help of his friend Van Helsing to try and cure Lucy. And they kind of have an idea of what's going on, but they don't understand why it's happening, right? And so we get to the point where Mina is now married to Jonathan, and Lucy is back in London, and she is very, very sick. She is like super weak, and she's tired, and she's like on death's door, and they don't understand why. So they had to do a blood transfusion twice. The first time she like immediately started feeling better. The second time was like in a rush, and yeah, that's pretty much where they are. In the meantime, there's this person that is in the insane asylum. What's his name? I'm always bad at his name. Starts with an R. I can never remember his name. Renfield. Thank you, Melania. So Renfield is acting very strange. He's escaped from the insane asylum a couple times, and the doctor has had to go and like Dr. Seward, he's had to go and like bring him back. So that's where we are with all the characters that we know. We haven't heard anything about Dracula yet. We kind of suspect he's around because of what's going on with Lucy and what's going on with Renfield, but we haven't actually heard from him yet. So we are on chapter 9, and this is Letter Mina Harker to Lucy Westerna. My dearest Lucy, I know you will be anxious to hear all that has happened since we parted at the railway station at Whitby. Well, my dear, I got to Hull all right, and let me lower this a bit, and caught the boat to Hamburg, and then the train on here. I feel I can hardly recall anything of the journey except that I knew I was coming to Jonathan, and that as I should have to do some nursing, I'd better get all the sleep I could. I found my dear one, oh, so thin and pale and weak looking. All the resolution has gone out of his eyes, and that quiet dignity which I told you was in his face was vanished. He is only a wreck of himself, and he does not remember anything that has happened to him for a long time past. At least, he wants me to believe so, and I shall never ask. He has had some terrible shock, and I fear it might tax his poor brain if he were to try to recall it. Sister Agatha, who is a good creature and a born nurse, tells me that he raved of dreadful things whilst he was off his head. I wanted her to tell me what there were, but she would only cross herself and say she would never tell, and the ravings of the sick were the secrets of God, and that if a nurse through her vacation should hear of them, she should respect her trust. She's a sweet, good soul, and the next day, when she saw I was troubled, she opened up the subject again, and after saying that she could never mention what my poor dear raved about, added, I can tell you this much, my dear, that it is not about anything which he had gone wrong himself, and you, as his wife-to-be, have no cause to be concerned. He has not forgotten you or what he owes to you. I feel like I've read this. Hold on. I really feel like I've read this. I've read this. We've read this. This was last week. This is when, yeah, Dr. Seward. Yeah, okay. To Van Helsing, Till then goodbye. Yeah, okay. No, we've read this. We have read this. This is my bad. I thought we were on chapter 9. I think we're on chapter 10. We've seen this morning had gone, but there is some good things. Liverpool Street was. Have you said anything to our young friend, the lover of her? Right. I think we have, Valonia. I feel like we have. Let me see. Hold on. Younger and strong. We I think your schedule said 11. We're on chapter 11 because we went through 2 chapters the week before. Take care you do not disturb it, and if the room fell close, do not tonight open the window or the door. Okay, wait. We went to the room taking the flowers with us. The professor's actions. Rub them all over the sashes. And it was yes, remember? So when they go to see Lucy and they do the blood transfusions, they are they're rubbing garlic on her, remember? Okay, we have done this. So that's the cue. That's the clue that we kind of think that Van Helsing understands what's going on, where she is. Okay, so we're on chapter 11, not chapter 9. That's my mistake. Okay, we're on chapter 11. All right, let's go ahead and let's update this really quick. Okay. Yeah. I switched it in the Discord too because I was like, oh, I think we are on chapter 9 and I don't want anyone to be confused. We are on chapter 11. We're actually on 11. Okay. That's why it felt like we've done this before, because we literally have. I was like, I read a couple lines from that from the beginning with Mina, and I was like, I think I've read this before. Hi, friend. Welcome in. How are you? I gave her garlic flowers in live first reading. Yes. Yeah, because at the end, when they did the first blood transfusion, it was with Arthur, her husband, or her Lucy's fiance, and she was perfectly fine. But then Van Helsing had to leave to go do some research, and Dr. Seward stayed behind to watch over her, and everything was fine for like a night or two, and then it was like the 3rd night and he fell asleep because he was like exhausted, right? And he goes, well, nothing's happened so far, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a nap, and Lucy told me to because she's feeling up and up, so I'm gonna go to sleep. So he goes to sleep, wakes up like after a couple of hours, and Dr. Van Helsing is in the room, or is downstairs. It's like the next day and he's downstairs, and that's when they go see Lucy, and she's like worse than before. So she has to do a second blood transfusion, but this time Van Helsing shows up and he has like some flowers, and so they go into the room with Lucy and they put a thing of garlic around her neck. They put garlic flowers like all over the window and the door, and that's when they did do the blood transfusion with Dr. Seward. That's where we are. Okay. Alright, that's where we are. Okay. We are actually on chapter 11. Ben, thank you for the forehead kiss. Alright, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and I will put the monocle on because you guys are right. I agree with you about the reading time should be with monocle. And also, I'm gonna do my coffee cup. I think we should also do my coffee cup. Actually, no, we'll leave it down. Alright, Jello, chapter 11. Lucy Westerna's diary, 12th of September. How good they all are to me. I quite love that dear Dr. Van Helsing. I wonder why he was so anxious about these flowers. He positively frightened me. He was so fierce, and yet he must have been right, for I feel comfortable from them already. Somehow I do not dread being alone tonight, and I can go to sleep without fear. I shall not mind any flapping outside the window. Oh, the terrible struggle that I have had against sleep so often of late. The pain of the sleeplessness, or the pain of the fear of sleep. With such unknown horrors as it has for me, How blessed are some people whose lives have no fears, no dreads, to whom sleep is a blessing that comes nightly and brings nothing but sweet dreams. Well, here I am tonight, hoping for sleep, and lying like Ophelia in the play with virgin krantz and maiden stuments. I never liked garlic before, but tonight it is delightful. There is peace in its smell, and I feel sleep coming already. Good night, everybody. Dr. Seward's Diary, 13th of September. Called at the Berkeley and found Von Helsing, as usual, up to time. The carriage ordered from the hotel was waiting. The professor took his bag, which he always brings with him now. Let all be put down exactly. Von Helsing and I arrived at Hillingham at 8 o'clock. It was a lovely morning, a bright sunshine, and all the fresh feeling of autumn seemed like the completion of nature's annual work. The leaves were turning to all kinds of beautiful colors, but I had not yet begun to drop from the trees. When we entered, we met Miss Westerna coming out of the morning room. She was already an early riser. She greeted us warmly and said, You'll be glad to know that Lucy is better. The dear child is still asleep. I looked to her room and saw her, but did not go in, lest I should disturb her. The professor smiled and looked quite jubilant. He rubbed his hands together and said, Aha! I thought I had diagnosed the case. My treatment is working. To which she answered, You must not take all the credit to yourself, Doctor. Lucy's state this morning is due in part to me. How do you mean, Mum? Asked the professor. Well, I was anxious about the dear child in the night and went to her room. She was sleeping soundly, so soundly that even my coming did not wake her. But the room was awfully stuffy. There were a lot of those horrible, strong-smelling flowers about everywhere, and she had actually a bunch of them around her neck. I feared that the heavy odour would be too much for the dear child in her weak state, so I took them away and opened a bit of the window to let in the fresh, to let a little fresh air. You'll be pleased with her, I am sure. She moved off into her boudoir, where she usually breakfasted early, and as she spoke, I watched the professor's face and saw it turn ashen grey. Oh no. He had been able to retain his self-command whilst the poor lady was present, for he knew her state and how mischievous a shock would be. He actually smiled on her as he held open the door for her to pass into the room. But the instant she had disappeared, he pulled me suddenly and forcibly into the dining room and closed the door. Then, for the first time in my life, I saw Van Helsing break down. He raised his hands over his head in a sort of mute despair, and then beat his palms together in a helpless way. Finally, he sat down on a chair, and putting his hands before his face, began to sob, with loud, dry sobs that seemed to come from the very racking of his heart. Then he raised his arms again, and though appealing to the whole universe, God, 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 he said, What have we done? What has this poor thing done that we are so sore beset? Is there fate amongst us still, set down from the pagan world of old, that such things must be, and in such way? This poor mother, all unknowing, and all for the best she thinks, does such a thing as lose her daughter, body and soul, and we must not tell her. We must not even warn her, or she die, and then both die. Oh, how we are beset! How are all the powers of the devils against us? Suddenly he jumped to his feet. Come, he said. Come, we must see and act, devil or no devils, or all the devils at once, it matters not. We fight him all the same. He went to the hall door for his bag. Together we went up to Lucy's room. Once again I drew up the blind, while Van Helsing went towards the bed. This time he did not start as he looked on the poor face with the same awful, waxen pallor as before. He wore a look of stern sadness and infinite pity, as I expected. He muttered, with that hissing inspiration of which meant so much. Without a word, he went and locked the door, and then began to set out on the little table the instruments for yet another operation of transfusion of blood. I had long ago recognized the necessity and began to take off my coat, but he stopped me with a warning hand. No, he said. Today, you must operate. I shall provide. You are weakened already. As he spoke, he took off his coat and rolled up his shirt sleeve. Again, the operation. Again, the narcotic. Again, some return of color to the ashy cheeks and the regular breathing of healthy sleep. This time, I watched whilst Don Van Helsing recruited himself and rested. Presently, he took an opportunity of telling Miss Westerna that she must not remove anything from Lucy's room without consulting him, that the flowers were of medicinal value, and that the breathing of their odor was part of the system of cure. Then he took over the care and case himself, saying that he would watch this night and the next and would send me word when to come. Am I frozen? Froze me too. I thought it was my internet. I'm still here. I'm still good. Hello? Am I? No? On my end, I was never down. Hi Flashy, welcome in. I saw the same stream issue before a few days ago. Really? Because I'm looking and for me it shows that Oh, I did drop some frames. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, had to refresh. It's like 50-50. It's working for a few people, then others it's stuttering or crashing on their end, just internet being internet. YouTube site was running. Did the YouTube site go? I think yeah, YouTube had 0 issues. It's still going, as far as I can tell. Let me see. Yeah, the YouTube site is still going. Thank you for the head pat. Get that cat. Therial? Hi Therial, welcome in. Okay, so just Twitch being Twitch. Honestly, yeah, it looks like it. Because my OBS was still going and it says that I dropped like 2% of frames, which is just a little over 5,000. I don't know. I don't know what that means, honestly. I have no idea. That's crazy. Okay, then I will do this, which should help. Okay, where was the last bit that you guys remember? Hi Lime! I've been observing issues on Twitch lately. Appear to be server sites unfortunately happening at random, but it's good now. Okay. Well, as long as it's good now. Where did you guys leave off? Yeah, can I get a refresh in chat? In case you guys did get stuck? Can I get a refresh in chat? Man being upset about garlic. Yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll go back up to that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll start from right here. Then, for the first time in my life, I saw Von Helsing break down. The part Dr. Stewart and Professor have entered Lucy's room. Oh, entered the room? Was it entered the room? I'll just start from... I'll start from here. Then, for the first time in my life, I saw Von Helsing break down. He raised his hands over his head for a sort of minute, mute despair, and then beat his palms together in a helpless way. Finally, he sat down on a chair, and putting his hands before his face, began to sob, with loud, dry sobs that seemed to come from the very racking of his heart. Then he raised his arms again, and though appealing to the whole universe, God, 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 he said, what have we done? What has this poor thing done that we are so sore beset? Is there fate amongst us still, sent down from the pagan world of old that such things must be, and in such way? This poor mother, all unknowing and all for the best as she think, does as such thing as lose her daughter body and soul. And we must not tell her, we must not even warn her, or she die, and then both die. Oh, how we are beset! How are all the powers of the devils against us? Suddenly he jumped to his feet. Come, he said. Come, we must see and act. Devils or no devils, or all the devils at once, it matters not. We fight him all the same. He went to the hall door for his bag, and together we went up to Lucy's room. Once again I drew up the blind, whilst Von Helsing went towards the bed. This time he did not start as he looked at the poor face with the same awful waxen pallor as before. He wore a look of stern sadness and infinite pity. As expected, he muttered, with that hissing inspiration of his which was meant so much. Without a word he went and locked the door and began to set out the little table the instruments for yet another operation of transfusion of blood. I had long ago recognized the necessity. I began to take off my coat, but he stopped me with a warning hand. No, he said, today you must operate. I shall provide. You are weakened already. And as he spoke, he took off his coat and rolled up his shirt sleeve. Again with the operation, again the narcotic, again some return of color to the ashen cheeks and the regular breathing of healthy sleep. Excuse me. This time, I watched while Von Helsing recruited himself and rested. Presently, he took the opportunity of telling Miss Westerna that she must not remove anything from Lucy's room without consulting him, that the flowers were of medicinal value, and that the breathing of their odor was part of the system of cure. Then he took over the care of the case himself, saying that he would watch this night and the next and would send me word when to come. After another hour, Lucy waked from her sleep, fresh and bright and seemingly not much the worse for her terrible ordeal. What does it all mean? I'm beginning to wonder if my long habit of life amongst the insane is beginning to tell upon my own brain. Hi Bear, welcome in. Lucy Westerna's diary, September 17th. 4 days and 4 nights of peace. Oh wait, hold on. 4 days and 4 nights of peace. I'm getting so strong again that I hardly know myself. It is as if I had passed through some long nightmare and had just awakened to see the beautiful sunshine and feel the fresh air of the morning around me. I have a dim half remembrance of long anxious times of waiting and fearing, darkness in which there was not even the pain of hope to make present distress more poignant. And then the long spell of oblivion and the rising back to life as a diver coming up through a great press of water. Since, however, Von Helsing has been with me, all this bad dreaming seems to have passed away. The noises that used to frighten me out of my wits, the flapping against the windows, the distant voices, which seemed so close to me, the harsh sounds that came from me I know not where, and commanded me to do I do not know what, have all ceased. I go to bed now without any fear of sleep. I do not even try to keep awake. I have grown quite fond of the garlic, and the boxful arrives for me every day from Haarlem. Tonight, Dr. Von Helsing is going away, as he has been for a day in Amsterdam. But I need not be watched. I'm well enough to be left alone. Thank God for mother's sake, and dear Arthur's, for all of our friends who have been so kind. I shall not even feel the change, for last night Von Helsing slept in his chair a lot of the time. I found him asleep twice when I woke, and I did not fear to go to sleep again, although the bows and bats or something lapped almost angrily against the window panes. The Pall Mall Gazette, 18th of September. Thank you for the flowers. Hi, Sloth. The Escaped Wolf. Perilous Adventures of an Interviewer. Interview with the keeper of the Zoological Gardens. After many inquiries and almost as many refusals, the perpetually using the words Pall Mall Gazette as a sort of talisman, I managed to find the keeper of the section of the Zoological Gardens in which the wolf department is included. Thomas Bitter lives in one of the cottages in the enclosure behind the elephant house, and was just sitting down to his tea when I found him. Thomas and his wife are hospitable folk, elderly and without children, and if the specimen I enjoyed of their hospitality be of the average kind, their lives must be pretty comfortable. The keeper would not enter on what he called business until the supper was over, and we were all satisfied. Then, when the table was cleared, and he had lit his pipe, he said, Now, sir, you can go on and ask me what you want. You'll excuse me you'll excuse me refusing, I can't do the accent, to talk of professional subjects afore meals. It gives the wolves and the jackals and the hyenas in our section their tea before I begins to ask them questions. How do you mean, ask them questions? I queried, wistful to get him to a talkative humour. Oh no. Eating of them over the end with the pole in one way, scratching of their ears is another, when gents is in a flush wants a bit of show-off to their gals. I don't so much mind the first, the hitting with the pole before it chucks in the dinner, but I waits till they've had their sherry and coffee, so to speak, before I tries on with the ear scratching. Mind you, he added philosophically, there's a deal of the same nature in us as in them dear animals. Here's you a coming and asking me questions about my business, and I that gonna be like that only of your bloomin' arf quid. I'd seen you blowed first for I answered. Not even when you asked me sarcastic like, if I'd like you to ask me superintended if you might ask me questions. Without offense, I did tell you to go to hell. You did. And when you said you would report me for using obscene language, that was it me over the head. But if the Arfquid made that alright, I weren't a going to fight. So I waited for the food and did with my all as the wolves and lions and tigers does. But Lord love your art, now that the old woman has stuck a chunk of her tea cake in me. The old woman, the woman, okay, has stuffed a chunk of her tea cake in me and rinsed me out with her bloomin' old teapot. And I've lit up, and you may scratch my ears for all you're worth, and I won't get even a growl out of me. Drive along with your questions. I know what you're coming at. That dear escaped wolf. Hi, Kyon, welcome in. Exactly. I want you to give me your view of it. Just tell me how it happened, and when I know the facts, I'll get you to say what you consider was the cause of it and how you think the whole affair will end. Alright, Governor. This here is about the old story. That there wolf that we call Berserker was one of 3 grey ones that came from Norway to Jamrax, which we bought off him 4 years ago. He was a nice, well-behaved wolf that never gave no trouble or talk to. I'm more surprised at him for waiting to get out nor any animal in the place. But there you can't trust wolves no more no woman. Don't you mind him, sir? Broke Miss Tom with a cheery laugh. He's got mind the animals so long that blessed if he ain't like an old wolf himself. But there ain't no harm in him. Well, sir, it was about 2 hours after feeding yesterday when I first heard my disturbance. I was making up a litter in the monkey house for a puma, which is ill, but when I heard the yelping and howling, I kept him away straight. There was Berserker tearing like a mad thing at the bars, as if he wanted to get out. There wasn't much people about that day, and close at hand was only one man, a tall, thin chap with a hook nose and a pointed beard with a few white hairs running through it. He had a hard cold look in his red eyes, and I took a sort of mislike to him, for it seemed as if it was him that was infuriated at. He had white kid gloves on his hands as he pointed out the animals to me and says, "Keeper, these wolves seem upset at something." "Maybe it's you," says I, for I did not like the airs he gave itself. He didn't get angry as I hoped he would, but he smiled a kind of insolent smile with a mouthful of white sharp teeth. "Oh no, they wouldn't like me," he says. "Oh yes, they would," says I, aiming at him. "They always like a bone or two to clean their teeth on about tea time, which you as a bagful." Well, it was a good thing when the animals see us a talking they lay down, and when I went over to Berserker he let me stroke his ears same as ever. That there man came over and blessed, but if he didn't put his hand and stroke the old wolf's ears too. "Take care," says I, "Berserker's a quick." "Never mind," he says, "I used to him." "Are you in the business yourself?" I says, taken off me hat for a man who trades in wolves. Answer is a good friend of keepers. "No," he says, "not exactly the business. I have made pets of several." And with that he lifts his at Pearly, that's the Lord, and walks away. Birdie! Hi Birdie, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukia. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, we can do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa, however the cake is extra. Isangu, thanks for the follow. Hi Worst. Hi Birdie. How was stream? How was ASMR? Hopefully it was a lot of fun. Thank you, thank you. Okay, to be raiding. Good morning, Jan. Hi. How'd you sleep? I had a lovely time. Good, Birdie. I know you had a long stream though, so if you need to raid and run, completely understand. But if you want to lurk and hang out, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure you go do your after stream care. We are reading chapter 11 of Dracula. And we are getting to the point. You guys rated as I'm trying to read this person's words that are written out, and they have a Cockney accent, and the way that their lines are written is with that accent, and I'm like struggling. Eat something and rest. I hope you have a lovely stream. Thank you so much, beautiful. Have a good rest and eat something num-nums. Accent text. It hit me too. It's so hard. But enjoy your food. Thank you again so much, beautiful. Felix, thanks you for the follow. Birdie took good care of us and now you all too. Yeah, Birdie is amazing. If you guys don't already follow Birdie, make sure you go give them a follow. Go check them out. They're so sweet. They're kind of beautiful and stuff. Alright. Let's go ahead and... Pretty's gorgeous. They are, right? So pretty. Epic Gamble, thanks for the follow. If you guys would like to join us on the raid, or on the raid, sorry. in the story, if you guys would like to read along with us, there is the book. We are on chapter 11, as it says over here to my right. Now more relax. Yes, more relax. Envo, thank you so much for gifting Birdie some song. Thank you. Let's go ahead and add another kiss to the model for Birdie. Let's see. I'm gonna do a purple. Let's do purple. And do purple. And I think Birdie is a forehead kisser. So I'm gonna put it right here. Tilt it a bit. There we go. Forehead kiss. Forehead kiss for Birdie. For every new sub that we get, I add a kiss to the model that stays for the entirety of the night. Just as a little something to show you guys that I do see it, and I want to thank you for something, you know? Sanducci, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Okay. Mint chamomile tea and Lovely Moon was reading story. Perfect way to settle down for the night. Yeah, get cozy. I have some water. I was gonna make myself some tea, but I ran out of time because I had to put my bed together with my my new bed and everything that I just got. So I wanted to put it together. And then I was like, I'll finish this later. I gotta stream. It's Tuesday, which means story time. Okay. So we are on chapter 11 at the part where there is an escaped wolf. No, says he, not exactly the business, but I have made pets of several. And with that, he lifts his out as perlite as a lord and walks away. Thank you for the care package. Hi, Kono. Time or like time. Hi, Kono. How are you, baby? Everybody, we have a care package. Just sit up, tilt your head to the left, tilt your head to the right, look up, and look down. Sit up and drink some water. Thank you for the care package. Alright. Not too bad. Good. Thank you for the head pat. Pandolf! Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you. Please enjoy those emotes, and as always, welcome to Favorite Cafe. Let's go ahead and let's add another kiss. Let's see. Let's do black, because your name is Pandolf, so I'm thinking like a panda. So we're gonna do black, and we're gonna put it. No, we're gonna put it over here. We're gonna put it over on this cheek. There you go. That's a good one. Perfect. HK! Hi HK, thanks for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukia. I'm a sign with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, we can do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa, however the cake is extra. I'm actually gonna adjust this one. Oh. Because I want it on my forehead, and it's like sliding around. Okay, that's fine. Alright. How was stream? You're doing some duet Night Abyss. That's the new gacha that came out not that long ago, right? Well, if you guys had fun, welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukia. I'm a sign with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, you do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa, however the cake is extra. HK, we are doing some reading tonight. So if you would like to relax and join us, you can just do exclamation point book, and you can get the chapter. You can get the link to the book that we're reading. So that's gotcha than I thought it would be. It's more like Warframe. Never played Warframe, but I get what you mean. Okay. And with that, he lifts up his hat as polite as our lord, then walks away. Old Berserker kept on looking after him till he was out of sight, and then went and lay down in a corner and wouldn't come out the whole evening. Well, last night, as soon as the moon was up, the wolves were all beginning howling. There weren't nothing at them to howl at. There weren't no one near except someone that was evidently calling a dog. Someone's at the back of the gardens in the park road. Once or twice, I went up to see that all was right, and it was, and then the owling stopped just before 12 o'clock. I just took a look around for turning in and bust me, but I came opposite the old Berserker's cage. I see the rails broken and twisted about the cage empty, and that's all I know for certain. Did anyone else see anything? One of our gardeners was coming on about that time from Harmony, when he sees a big grey dog coming out through the gardening edges. At least, so he says, but I don't give much for it myself, for if he did, he never said a word about to his missus when he got home. It was only after escape of the wolf that made known, and we had been up all night hunting of the park for Berserker, that he remembered seeing anything. My own belief was that the harmony and got into his head. Now, Mr. Builder, can you account for any way of the escape of the wolf? Well, sir, he said with a suspicious sort of modesty, I think I can, but I don't know as how you'd be satisfied with the theory. Certainly I shall, if a man like you, who knows the animals from experience, can't hazard a good guess. At any rate, he was even to try. Well then, sir, I accounts for it this way. It seems to me that the wolf escaped, simply because he wanted to get out. From the hearty way that both Thomas and his wife laughed at the joke, I could see that I had done service before, and that the whole explanation was simply an elaborate sell. I couldn't cope in badinage with the worthy Thomas, but I thought I knew a surer way to his heart, so I said, now, Mr. Builder, we'll consider it. We'll consider that first half sovereign worked off, and this brother of his is waiting to be claimed when you've told me what I think will happen. Right you are, sir, he said briskly. You'll excuse me, I know, for a chaffing of ye, but the old woman here winked at me with as much as a telling me to go on. Well, I never, said the old lady. My opinion is this, that the wolf was hiding off somewhere. The gardener, what didn't remember, said he was galloping northward faster than a horse could go, but I don't believe him, for you see, sir, wolves can't gallop no more than dogs does. They're not being built that way. Wait, yes they can. Wolves can run very fast. Wolves is find things in a storybook, and I dare say when it gets packs, it does be achieving something that's more afeared than they think. then they can be a devil of a noise and chop it up. Whatever it is. But Lord bless you, in real life a wolf is only a low creature. Excuse me. Not half so clever or bold as a good dog. This is an old story, this is an old story, this is an old story. And not half a quarter so smart. Fighting 'em in. This one ain't been used to fighting or even to proving himself. And more like he's somewhere around the park-eyed and the shivering of... And if he thinks it will wondering where he is to get his breakfast from, or maybe he's got down some area and is in a coal cellar. My eye won't some cook get the rum start when she sees his green eyes a shimmering at her out of the dark. If he can't get food, he's bound to look for it, and mayhap he may chance to light on the butcher's shop in time. If he doesn't, and some nursemaid goes a wandering off with the soldier, leaving the infant in the perambulator, well, then I shouldn't be surprised. The census is one baby than less, that's all. I was handing him a half-sovereign when something came bobbing up against the window. And Mr. Bilger's face doubled its natural length with surprise. God bless me, he said. If there ain't old Berserker come back by himself. He went to the door and opened it, at most unnecessary proceeding, it seemed to me. I have always thought that a wild animal never looks so well as when some obstacle of pronounced durability is between us. A personal experience has intensified rather than diminished that idea. After all, however, there was nothing like custom, for neither Builder nor his wife thought of any more of the wolf than I should of a dog. The animal itself was as peaceful and well behaved as that father of all picture wolves, Red Riding Hood's quondam friend, whilst moving her confidence and masquerade. The whole scene was an unutterable mixture of comedy and pathos. The wicked wolf that for half a day had paralyzed London and set all the children in the town shivering in their shoes was there in a sort of penitent mood, and received and petted like a sort of vulpine prodigal son. Old Builder exclaimed him all over with the most tender solicitude, and when he had finished with his penitent, said, "There, I know the poor old chap would get into some kind of trouble. Didn't I say it all along? He's had his head all cut and full of broken glass. He's been a-getting over some bloomin' wall or other. It's a shame that people are allowed to top their woes with broken bottles. This here's what comes of it. Come along, Berserker." He took the wolf and locked him up in a cage with a piece of meat that satisfied, in quantity at any rate, the elementary conditions of the fatted calf, and went off to report. I came off too, to report the only exclusive information that is given today regarding this strange escape at the zoo. Poor puppy. Dr. Seward's Diary, 17th of September. I was engaged after dinner in my study posting up my books, which, through press of the work of the many visits to Lucy, had fallen sadly into error. Suddenly, the door was burst open, and in rushed my patient, with his face distorted with passion. I was thunderstruck, for such a thing in a patient getting of his own accord into the superintendent's study is almost unknown. Without an instant's pause, he made straight at me. He had a dinner knife in his hand, and as I saw was dangerous, I tried to keep the table between us. He was too quick and too strong for me, however, for before I could get any balance, he had struck at me and cut my left wrist rather severely. Before he could strike again, however, I got him in my right, and he was sprawling on his back on the floor. My wrist bled freely, and while a little pool trickled onto the carpet, I saw that my friend was not intent on further effort, and occupied himself binding up my wrist, keeping a wary eye on the prostrate figure all the time. When the attendants rushed in and he turned our attention to him, his employment positively sickened me. He was laying on his belly on the floor, licking up, like a dog, the blood which had fallen from my wounded wrist. Ugh! He was easily secured and, to my surprise, went with the attendants quite placidly, simply repeating over and over again, "The blood is the life. The blood is the life." I cannot afford to lose blood just at present. I have lost too much of late in my physical good, and then the prolonged strain of Lucy's illness and its horrible phases is telling on me. I am overexcited and weary and need rest, rest, rest. Happily, Von Helsing has not summoned me, so I need not forgo my sleep. Tonight, I could not well do without it. Renfield, yes. So Renfield broke into Dr. Seward's his office. Hi Cameron, welcome in. So Renfield broke into Dr. Seward's office when he was back at the hospital and attacked him with a dinner knife, cutting his wrist in order to try and lap up the blood that the doctor spilt on the carpet in his office. Okay. Telegram, Von Helsing, Antwerp to Seward in Carfax. Sent to Carfax, Sussex has no country given. Delivered date by 22 hours, 17th of September. Do not fail to be at Hillingham tonight. If not watching all the time frequently, visit and see that the flowers are as placed. Very important, do not fail. Shall be with you as soon as possible afterwards. Dr. Seward's diary, 17th of September. Just off for train to London. The arrival of Von Helsing's telegram filled me with dismay. A whole night lost, and I know by bitter experience what may happen in a night. Of course, it is possible that all may be well, but what may have happened? Surely there is some horrible doom hanging over us that every possible accident should thwart us in a way we try to do. I shall take this cylinder with me, and then I can complete my entry on Lucy's phonograph. Memorandum left by Lucy Westerna. 17th September, night. I write this and leave it to be seen that no one may be any chance get into trouble through me. This is an exact record of what took place tonight. I feel I am dying of weakness and have barely strength to write, but it must be done if I die in the doing. I went to bed as usual, taking care that the flowers were placed as Von Helsing directed, and soon fell asleep. I was waked by the flapping at the window, which had begun after that sleepwalking off the cliff at Whitby when Mina saved me, and which now I know so well. I was not afraid, but I did wish that Dr. Seward was in the next room, as Von Helsing said he would be, so that I might have called him. I tried to go to sleep but could not. Then there came to me the old fear of sleep. As I determined to keep awake, perversely sleep I would try to come, then when I did not want it to. Wait, what? I tried to go to sleep, but could not. No, that's right. Perversely sleep would try to come when I did not want it. So, as I feared to be alone, I opened my door and called out, "Is anybody there?" There was no answer. I was afraid to wake Mother, and so closed my door again. Then outside in the shrubbery, I heard a sort of howl like a dog's, but more fierce and deeper. I went to the window and looked out, but could see nothing except a big bat which had evidently been buffering its wings against the window. So I went back to bed again, but determined not to go to sleep. Presently the door opened, and Mother looked in, seeing by my moving that I was not asleep, came in and sat by me. She said to me even more sweetly and softly than her wont, "I was uneasy about you, darling. and came to see that you are all right. Elita, thanks for the follow. I feared she might catch cold sitting there and asked her to come in and sleep with me, so she came into bed and lay down beside me. She did not take off her dressing gown, for she said she would only stay a little and then go back to her own bed. As she lay there in my arms and I in hers, the flapping and buffing came to the window again. She was startled and a little frightened and cried out, "What is that?" I tried to pacify her and at last succeeded, and she lay quiet, but I could hear her poor dear heart still beating terribly. After a while, there was the low howl again out in the shrubbery, and shortly after, there was a crash at the window and a lot of broken glass was hurled onto the floor. The window blind blew back, and the wind that rushed in, and in the aperture of the broken panes, there was the head of a giant, gaunt, grey wolf. Mother cried out in fright and struggled up into a sitting posture and clutched wildly at anything that would help her. Amongst other things, she clutched the wreath of flowers that Dr. Von Helsing insisted on my wearing around my neck and tore it away from me. For a second or two she sat up, pointing at the wolf, and there was a strange and horrible gurgling in her throat. Then she fell over, as if struck with lightning, and her head hit my floor and made me dizzy for a moment or two. The room all around seemed to spin around. I kept my eyes fixed on the window, but the wolf drew his head back, and a whole myriad of little specks seemed to come blowing in through the broken window, and wheeling and circling around like the pillar of dust that travelers describe when there's a simian in the desert. I tried to stir, but there was some spell upon me, and my dear mother's poor body, which seemed to grow cold already, for her dear heart had ceased to beat, weighed me down, and I remembered no more for a while. The time did not seem long, but very, very awful, till I recovered consciousness again. Somewhere near, a passing bell was tolling. The dogs all around the neighborhood were howling, and in our shrubbery, seemingly just outside, a nightingale was singing. I was dazed and stupid with pain and terror and weakness, but the sound of the nightingale seemed like the voice of my dead mother come back to comfort me. The sound seemed to have awakened the maids too, for I could hear their bare feet pittering outside my door. I called them, and they came in, and when they saw what had happened and what it was that lay over me on the bed, they screamed out. The wind rushed in through the broken window, and the door slammed too. They lifted off the body of my dead mother and laid her, covering up with the sheet, on the bed after I had gotten up. They were all so frightened and nervous that I directed them to go to the dining room and each have a glass of wine. The door flew open for an instant and closed again. The maids shrieked and then went in a body to the dining room, and I lay what flowers I had on my dear mother's breast. When they were there, I remembered what Dr. Von Helsing had told me, but I didn't like to remove them, and besides, I would have had some of the servants to sit up with me now. I was surprised that the maids did not come back. I called them, but got no answer, so I went to the dining room to look for them. My heart sank when I saw what had happened. They all four lay helpless on the floor, breathing heavily. The decanter of sherry was on the table half full, but there was a queer, acrid smell about it. I was suspicious and examined the decanter. It smelled of laudanum, and looking on the sideboard, I found the bottle which Mother's doctor uses for her. Did use was empty. What am I to do? What am I to do? I am back in the room with Mother. I cannot leave her, and I am alone, save for the sleeping servants whom someone has drugged, alone with the dead. I dare not go out, for I can hear the low howl of the wolf through the broken windows. The air seems full of specks, floating and circling in the draft from the window. And the lights burn blue and dim. What am I to do? God, shield me from harm this night. I shall hide this paper in my breast, where they shall find it when they come to lay me out. My dear mother, gone. It is time that I go too. Goodbye, dear Arthur. If I should not survive this night, God keep you dear, and God help me. And that is the end of chapter 11. Okay, so it looks like Van Helsing broke the wolf out the night before in order to use them to break the window to get into Lucy's room. Atomic, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, it is cold. Are you guys cold? I'm like shivering. Yum, 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 yum. We might end it a little early tonight because the next chapter is very long, and I want to try and do only one chapter a night. Yeah, so we'll do chapter 12 next week. We'll do chapter 12 next week. Alright, so we are on chapter 12. Let's see, chapter 12. Let's add that here. Alright. We will start next week on chapter 12. Bad cheese? You want to be called bad cheese? I mean, sure. If that's what you want. It's chillier for me. I recently rained here. It's been Dracula used the wolf. So if you read the book, sorry, if you were paying attention, then the day of the article was published on the 17th, the same day that Dr. Seward was wounded by Renfield, and Van Helsing tried to send a telegram to Dr. Seward to tell him to come back to Mina's house, or not Mina's, sorry, to come back to Lucy's house, right? Hooked me. It's really good. It's a good read. The way that they do it is done through like journal entries and writings and newspaper clippings, so it's not like first or second person. I mean, it's like first person explaining of how it all happened. That's why the dates are pretty important. That's why I read them out loud, so you guys can see what they are, you know, and how they tie in with what's going on. So the wolf escaped on the same day that Mina wrote her letter, that last entry that we just read. And then we find out that Dr. Van Helsing tried to write to Dr. Seward to tell him to return, but he didn't get it because it wasn't sent. It was sent to him 22 hours delay. We don't know what was delayed. Through diaries and news articles. Recently learned that Dracula storytelling is the epistolary style? Is that a style? I mean, I figured it would be, but that's interesting. Let me go ahead and do this really quick for Bandok. Bandok, hold on, we did the ear pack, that. Oh, I'm so sorry, Fend. There's your forehead kiss. Bandok, you want to be called bad cheese. Bandok, you are very bad cheese. You are stinky cheese. You're probably not even like a Gouda. You're probably like blue cheese. Stinky bad cheese, Bandok. Sorry to anyone who likes blue cheese. Blue cheese is a bit too stinky for me. Hi Fang, welcome in. I personally don't like it. I like... Actually, no, I've had blue cheese. Blue cheese and certain things is good. But otherwise... Hopefully that was okay. I usually go a little further with it. I just... You know what? We'll do it. Bandok, you are stinky cheese. You're bad cheese. You're not even the kind of cheese that's expensive. You're like dollar store cheese. Bad cheese, Bandok. Sorry if that was too far. I didn't know how far to go. To come with Canada, we make some mean blue cheese with hot wings. Ugh. Bro, I can't even afford a new blanket right now, and you want me to go to Canada? You're crazy. But yeah, so we have a little bit more time. I usually do about 4 hours. We've only been going for that chapter only took me 2 hours, or only took me an hour? Really? I don't want to end that early. Like, that feels too early, too soon, you know? Because it is... I might just do chapter 12. But I think we're gonna take a little BRB break. I'm gonna go grab some tea. I'm gonna go grab a little bit more water for my cup. And then we'll jump into chapter 12. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do chapter 12 because we haven't been. I feel like we've been streaming for much longer, but yeah. Let's go ahead and let me go do a quick BRB, and when we come back, we'll jump into chapter 12. Chapter 12, Dr. Seward's diary. That's where we are. Okay, so quick BRB, and then we'll get back into it. Okay. And we're back. Let's go ahead and let's switch break on over. Break on over. Hi, welcome back. We are back. If you guys would like to join us on the bongo game, you can just do exclamation point bongos, and you can get the code there. But we are on chapter 12. Oh, I am so cold. I should have gotten tea. I'll get tea after stream. My mom has this really good like security. Oh no, what did I do? Oh no, the lights on my keyboard, I fucked them up. I have to fix this. Oh shit, I fucked it up again. There you go, fixed it. Perfect. The whole thing plus a double baked potato. We'll do it again. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. I'm gonna make myself I was gonna make myself a salad after stream, but now I'm so cold. I don't want to eat cold food. So I'm like, what else can I make instead? What can I make that isn't cold food? Hi JP, welcome back. How are you? It's been a while. Let's go ahead and lower this again. Whew. I ordered, what was it? Oh, I ordered some groceries to be dropped off tomorrow. So I'll have some supplies for like my late night hunger pangs. Hi Puck, welcome in. I'm tired, bro. Same. I can't wait to go to sleep on my new bed. I'm so excited, but I'm so worried I'm gonna wake up with back pain. I'm so worried, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let me just get my hands nice and warm. I'm like stuffing my hands into the sleeves of my... Do you guys do that? Stuff your hands into like the sleeves of your sweater to try and get them like warm again? That's usually what I do. New bed. Yeah! So last week my bed frame broke. The supporting bars that held up my mattress just broke. The welding part of it just like it gave, right? So what I ended up doing was I took it apart, threw it away, and then I had to go through and like get rid of a bunch of stuff that I had under my bed, because I had like this big this big like storage thing under. So I went through and I got rid of a bunch of stuff, and then I bought a new bed, and it's bigger than the one that I had. So then I had to make room for that, and I got the frame on Saturday, built that on Sunday, got the mattress earlier today, and got that all set up too. My thighs. If I wasn't at my desk, normally what I do is I'll like, if I'm out somewhere, I'll put my hands like under my legs and I'll like warm them that way. But everybody keeps saying if you put your hands like between your thighs, like where your knees are, or like a little bit higher, then your hands will be warm that way. But like that always feels weird to do that around people. Hands in the other sleeves, long time ago. Yep. That's what I do. Okay. All right. I got a blanket on my lap. I got some more water. I have my hoodie on. It's not like my heavy hoodie. I probably should have worn my heavier hoodie, but I feel like I'd get way too warm with that on. Maybe I'll wear that tomorrow if it's really cold. But yeah. Okay, so we're on chapter 12. It's a bit long, but it should fill us until the end of stream. because I like to do at least 1 to 2 chapters, and this one, the next one seems pretty long, so it'll probably fill in for at least the next hour and a half, you know? I put my hand on my chest to warm them up. On your chest? Can I put my hands on your chest too? I'm just kidding. I'm laying on my bed, shirtless, wearing my hoodie and pajama pants. Wait, you have a hoodie but no shirt on? Is it like a pullover hoodie? I can only do that with pullover hoodies. Zip-up hoodies, what's it called? The zipper like gets really cold. I want to build in hand warmer. You have John, you have butt. Sit on your hands. Better yet, have your wife sit on your hands. Same boat, but I'm wearing a house coat instead of a hoodie. A house coat? A house coat? What's a house coat? Now I need to look this up. What's a house coat? I need to look this up. Oh, a robe. Oh, you're wearing a robe. I have a robe. It's very thin. It's definitely not made for definitely not made for winter. It's definitely, oh my gosh, look at this one. Oh, this one's cute. I think I want a house robe. I want a nice big house coat. It comes in yellow. They have a green. Okay, but how much is it? How much is this one? $405. Huh? $405? Dude, I can go to fucking Salvation Army and get one for like $10. What the fuck? Who's spending $400 on a robe? Put it on the wish list. Nah. I don't need to. What do I have on my throne right now? What's on my wish list right now? Stream things. Yeah. Oh, actually, let me get rid of that. I don't want that anymore. I got the other one. Yeah, I got a book. A 3D printed dragon fidget toy. My friend's body pillow. Earphones. And Uber Eat gift cards. And that's what's on my throne right now. You got a body pillow on there. Yeah, my friend, that's my friend Papa Yokai. That's his merchandise. And he was like, you're gonna get one, right? And I was like, I'll put it on my throne. Because I don't live alone, so I know I'll get made fun of for having a body pillow of like some guy. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. But yeah, my friend Papa Yokai, he's the one that actually bought us Dispatch. That's what we were playing on Saturday. It's not the same. I know it's not the same, but still. And I can't close it. You're not supposed to close it. You have to sit there and stare at it, JP. You gotta sit there and stare at it. Oni! Hi, Oni! Welcome in, how are you? Hi. Oni, you met my friend Aqua, right? You met my friend Aqua when you guys were at a convention a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah, I love Aqua. Aqua's amazing. Here, you guys don't know who Aqua is. Let me give you a shout out to Oni. There you go. Yeah, I love Aqua. He's so cool. An espresso display. So basically, the display is like a small monitor that I'd be able to keep right in front of me so that if I wanted to do something, because right now I have 2 monitors, right? And the third one, it's basically would be like a third smaller monitor that I can easily put away when I'm not using it, because when I'm doing games, right, and I need to, like, if I want to look at chat, if I want to adjust the music, I have to like have it on my other monitor over another program, because OBS, if I minimize it, it acts up. It has to be full screen, at least for me. And so if I wanted to adjust like the music, I have to bring, go over and then bring it up on top. It made sense in my head. I was like, a third monitor. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, a third monitor. But yeah, honestly, at the moment, the things that I'm thinking of that I'm like, I'd rather have this than that are like, what is it called? I want a box that I can put under my bed for like my winter blankets, because I have a lot of winter blankets, like knitted things that when I say a lot, I have 2 I have 2 that my family has bought. So I was like, I want one of those so I can put my winter blankets in it. And I want a new desk and a new bookshelf. So I'm like, I want those things more. But yeah, one thing at a time, right? One thing. Doodle! Hi Doodle, welcome in. We have a care package. Alright, let's go ahead and do a quick care package, guys. So sit up straight, tilt your head to the left. I'm gonna rest here for a minute because my neck is actually really sore. And then tilt your head to the right. Your blankets might not always be super thick. Yeah, look up. And look down. Ouch, 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 ouch. That one hurts too. Sit up and drink some wawa. How are you, beautiful? Sometimes forget there are places where blankets might not always be super thick. Yeah, I live somewhere that's not cold all the time. So I have like winter blankets and winter sheets. And then I have like my summer stuff too, stuff where it's like thin, Rolling shoulders can help with neck pain too. Oh yeah, roll the shoulders backwards. Oh. Alright, drink some Moa. But how are you, Doodle? How are you, beautiful? Okay, now that my hands are cold again, get your side to some work things. Get on this side, yeah. I got my new bed. My mattress came in today, so I got that all set up. So I'm actually really excited to sleep tonight to see how comfy the mattress is. Because like, when I got it, I looked at it and I was like, that looks kind of thin. So if it is, I have plans on ways to make it a little softer, to make it a little bit easier to like, sleep on, I think is the word I'm thinking of. So we'll see, we'll see how things go. But our plan today is, am I really loud? I feel like I suddenly got really loud. I just adjusted my mic a bit. 51 degrees for me right now. Really? Let's see, for me, grab my phone. It's easier to just check my phone than like try and Google it. At this rate, we're not going to read next chapter. It is 45 degrees right now where I am. It is very cold. It is very, very cold right now. There you go. Thank you for the head pat. Our warmth, oh my gosh, thank you. I would love that. I actually have a little room heater, like a little space heater. Excuse me. But I didn't really want to use it. You need a heated sweater. I need... What do I need? Do you know what would be really nice, honestly? I would love a hot cocoa. We don't have any hot cocoa mix. I would love a thing of hot cocoa mix. Or the one where it's like little baggies and you just put the whole thing into the cup and then pour the hot milk. I'm going to get colder for me a week because I'm going to go Oregon. Oregon. I love Oregon kind of temperature. I like cold temperature, but like, so my room is a corner room. It has 4 windows. So my room is constantly the coldest in the house. It's always the warmest in the house too. Peppermint hot cocoa milk. Oh, lucky. Nightfang, welcome in. How are you, sweetling? How's your night? Valid. How about hot cocoa balls? I have like 15. I got super cheapo. Oh, yes. Ooh, that sounds so good. I'll take those. They're like bath ball things, but they're for hot cocoa. I got some of those last year from my brothers, and they said they were really good. They said they were very good, and I was like, oh, I want some. I'm like trying to warm my hands right now, and then I do want to read. I do want to read a bit more. But if you guys are okay with just talking, we can just do some talking instead, just chatting and stuff. I'm okay with that too. If you guys want to do that instead, I don't mind. It's a fun little experience. Yeah. I got the pots for Keurig. Those make really good tea. Talking is always nice. Honestly, I like talking too. I like telling you guys things. I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and let's do that. We'll save chapter 12. We'll save chapter 12 and we'll talk for a bit. I feel like we don't spend a whole lot of time talking. Not like we used to, you know what I mean? So we'll go ahead, we'll do that. I will bring out my table of treats and stuff again. Yeah, there you go. Be a kono. I'm surprised you're still awake. You can't sleep, my love? Are you having difficulty sleeping? Hi, Ezra. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you, sweetling? Just chatting is good too. I like just chatting. I like just talking to you guys about things. But you know what? I will put on... Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Thank you for the forehead kiss. I will put on a couple ASMR redeems for tonight too. Let's see, let's go ahead. Let's put on whispers. Let's do attention please. And let's do let's just do those two. Yeah, let's keep it chill. Let's keep it chill tonight. How's the book been? Good. We got to chapter 12 and well, we finished chapter 11 and we were gonna go on to chapter 12, but we ended up just talking. So we're probably gonna read chapter 12 next week. We got to the part in the story where Lucy was attacked in her home by a gray wolf that escaped the zoo, and I think this is probably what it was. Dracula used his power over like wolves and stuff like that to command the wolf to escape, go to Mina's house and break the window so that he can get into the house and try and get to Lucy, because Van Helsing and Dr. Seward are no longer there. And like, I understand that Bram Stoker is the writer of the story, but there's this one part that still really bothers me about the way that he wrote Lucy, right? She's supposed to be like the ideal woman, right? But he made her kind of annoying. And just the way she's like, oh, I wish I could just marry all three of those guys. They're just so cute and they love me so much and I feel so bad. And you're like, girl, be so for real right now. Like, really? You want a harem? Okay. Okay. Speaking of zoo, I went to my neighbor's zoo last week. How was it? Hi, Otto. Welcome in, cutie. How are you? How's your night? Hopefully you're doing good. Excuse me. I'm a big sleepy. I get sleepy when I'm cold. Got a lot of good pics. Nice. I've only been to the zoo a handful of times, and the couple of times she can't decide, right? Because she's just like, oh, if only I could have married him because he's so nice to me. Oh, but Arthur, I love him so much. Oh, but Dr. Seward. Oh, but the American, he's just so nice and so charming. And you're like, just be quiet now. I mean, like, I get it, trust me. It's like, it's that situation, right? Anyone who's ever like, okay, I'm gonna expose myself a little bit here, okay? Anyone that's gone on like casual dates with people, right? If you go like on casual dates with a couple people, right? And you like all of them, but there's one person that you went on a date with, you're just like, no, I can actually like see myself dating that person, like more than just casually, right? When you do that, I get it, right? You spent that time with those people and maybe you connected more with one person than you did the others. And I get that, trust me, I've been there. I've done the casual date thing. Granted, they all knew, it's not like it was a surprise, right? But like, I never once was just like, oh, but what am I gonna tell the other guys? It's just like, I'll just tell them, you know, thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry, but I am, you know, only dating this person now because that person, I had that conversation, blah, 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 right? But the way she went about it, she keeps going like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You're just like, girl, okay. You have to cut them loose. You have to stop giving them that false hope, you know? Enjoying stream, then I went black and I woke up dead ass during that chat with well, good morning, Shorn. Hopefully had a good sleep. So like that I can kind of understand, right? Oh, that was my desk. My desk likes to creak. But like, I don't know, I don't like that he made her character like that she's so easily swayed. Because I kind of feel like if she was in love with Arthur the way that she is, then she wouldn't be calling on Dr. Seward. In a way though, for the story, and this is always the hard part sometimes with me, right, is with stories and anime, I'm just like, why would they do that? That's so stupid. They're idiots. Why would they go into the room that obviously blood is coming out of? Like, I would run away. Like, your friends are dying left and right and you're gonna go into the room where there's blood coming out from under the door. Nah, bruh, I'm leaving. I'd be like, nope. not today, not today, right? But for the sake of the story, they have to go in the room. They have to be that character, you know what I mean? I get it from that perspective. It's just so hard sometimes. If you guys ever watch a movie with me, like, and you'll know I get really into the film when I start like angrily getting upset at one of the characters and their behaviors. You'll know that I'm really into the show when I start. I don't want to say yelling because I don't really yell. That's my mom. But I have. There was a series. Did you guys ever see a Supernatural? The Supernatural series. There's this one part where one of the brothers does something really stupid. And they do that often. But like, I thought of like 2 or 3 other ways that they could have gone about helping the person that they were trying to help, right? And then they go about and choosing the way that's going to get one of them killed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Out loud. Hi, V! Welcome on in, beautiful. How was stream? Welcome in. Hi. V, I miss you. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukia. I'm a Simon with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe because I like a drink. We can do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa, however the cake is extra. How was Animal Crossing? Did you have fun? Hi. I didn't know you were streaming. I didn't get the alert thing, like on the Twitch side of stuff. But V, if you need to raid and run, I completely understand. Being human again, good. You doing okay, my love? If you ever need anything, just let me know, okay? I'll do my best. But yeah, if you guys don't know who V is, they are the one who did our just chatting scene. They did our pumpkin emote. If you guys don't know what our pumpkin emote is, if I can find it, there it is. They did our pumpkin emote. And they're gonna be working on our gaming scene. When they're available too, of course. But yeah, it's fun. So first playing, wandering around, being good neighbor. Good. Hi, Israbel. Welcome in. How are you? If you like actors when they're angry, you might like my acting on stage. I did before. I would say no to that, Shorn. I'm really against, like, unless I'm very close to the person, I don't really like want to see videos of personal things like that, especially when it's gonna have something like your name on it or like where you live and stuff like that. I don't for your own safety, I don't want things like that put online, you know. Tasty pumpkin, right? It's such a cute. My meds are about to be in a good spot where I'll be functional, so I'm plugging. Yay! I'm so glad, V. That's good. I was worried for a little while, but I didn't want to bug you about everything that's going on, because I know, like, probably you talked about it and said like a million bazillion times. I'm just like, I don't want to be like a million bazillion and one, you know, because sometimes that happens and I understand it, but I do think about you often, V. But my love, if you need to raid and run, I understand, but if you want to lurk and hang out, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure to take care. We're doing just chatting right now. I do have a couple ASMR things because we were reading earlier, but you know what, we could probably put on one more ASMR thing. Let's see. Tokyo Ghoul Cafe vibes here. Yes, I love Tokyo Ghoul. I like the vibes, the whole like just cozy, you know, talking about whatever. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I don't want to see the other actors because that's like it's a breach of their privacy. You know what I mean? Hi, Chef. Welcome in. Doing well and hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling much better. I was able to sleep like the entire night yesterday, without any issues. I'll put those 3 on. But I got my new mattress today for the bed, so the whole thing is nice and like all set. But I was telling everybody, but my biggest concern right now is if the bed is going to be comfortable enough, because the mattress looks very thin, you know. But I won't know until I have a first night's rest on it. You know, it could be perfect. We never know. I'll treat my throat with some tea and honey. Ooh. I appreciate you too, V. Get yourself some good tea and some good honey. Take it easy and I adore you so much. Enjoy your drink. Sorry about that. No, you're so good, Sharon. You don't have to apologize. But yeah. JP, you said you went to the zoo not too long ago? I like the zoo. There's this one, like, animal park where it's like a whole area. It's not a zoo. It's much bigger than a zoo. It's like a couple acres, probably much bigger than just a couple. But it's like, I can't think of the word. It's like this big place that they section off. Thank you for the head pat. Of course you would. What is it? The bang. Thank you for the forehead kiss. And it's kind of hard to describe because it's like if they took a zoo and they didn't have it so sectioned off and you had to like drive through it, you know what I mean? It was really cool. Thank you for the headpad. Nom nom nom. What are you nomming, Envo? Are you eating anything? We're probably gonna only go for like 14 more minutes. We're gonna go until we have at least a solid 3 hours of stream before we go and find something to read on into. But yeah, it's been years since I've gone to the animal park, but it was so much fun. Though I did one time I did go to a zoo because one of my favorite bands was doing a live performance there pretty much all day. Like they had a stage set up specifically for them to do their veggie chips and kale. Wow, fucking rude. What was it? But they have a piece of bread to keep myself awake. And if you're tired, get some sleep. You don't have to stay awake. So they had a stage, like they had little stages set up across the entire park, and you can go and you can walk around the park for an hour, come back, listen to them, walk around for the park for an hour, come back and listen to them. So, and they play the same songs the entire time, right? But they did it in increments like that, so that people could go and walk around the park, right? Walk around the zoo. So we got there early, and it was my birthday, so we got there early. My ticket was like half price. We walk around the zoo, and then at the end of the night, we went and we watched the concert. And I bought their album, and I walked over to, because they're doing signings. So I walked, like if you bought their album, they did signings. So I walked over to like the line, showed them a receipt, showed them the album, and they signed it. And they're just like, hey, thanks for coming. You know, I hope you're doing good. And I told them, I was like, yeah, I'm doing great. It's my birthday. I'm here with my family. And they're just like, oh shit, it's your birthday. So they let us do a photo with them. And I think it's on my mom's phone. But it was so cool. I think it was. I'm so like, I don't even care about photos, but I still have the album and they signed it. I still have it. Just so relaxing here. Good. I'm glad you're feeling relaxed. That's the whole point, right? Is to get nice and cozy and relaxed. And we can look out the window, look at the northern lights. Do you guys even notice the northern lights behind us? On a cold winter's night, when you look out, you can see the northern lights. Isn't it pretty? Here, I'll do this. There. Perfect. Or I can do this actually. This is probably better. Here I go. Birthday privileges go. Right. Just realized that. And we got a campfire and we got some chairs out there. So if we wanted to, we can get nice and cozy by the fireplace on the inside. We can go outside. Yeah. We can cuddle up on the couch. Be so cozy, right? Get nice and comfortable. Oh. Hi, Dark Whisperer. Welcome in. How are you? How's your night? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, this is actually a new scene that I set up for us. Never seen Northern Lights before. Neither have I. I've never like seen Northern Lights live. Like I've seen pictures and videos and stuff, of course. But I live too far south to see the lights. But it would be so pretty, right? Lucky, welcome in. Imagine scared of women. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. How are you? But imagine being able to do that, right? To sit outside by a fireplace. But I'm doing good. We're talking about have you ever seen the Northern Lights? Like for real? Like in person with your own eyes? Right? Scared? You're scared? Well, don't be scared. I only bite when you ask me to. But imagine, right, sitting outside. Hold on, let me adjust myself again so you guys can see, right? Sitting outside by the fire right there and looking out over the white snow, and you can see the northern lights in the distance just dancing across the sky. How fucking gorgeous would that be? Like let's be serious. That'd be amazing, right? Asking for those bites? I mean, it was stinky. You mean G is stinky. You're right. You mistyped your own name. Got a beautiful vision of all sweetlings gathered around a group. Northern Lights taking a group photo with. That'd be so cute. Whisper, thank you so much for the head pat. I hope to see the aurora one day. Right? I would love to do something like that. Go somewhere in a cabin or like at a friend's house, right? And like, I'm not really big on camping, right? I'm not the biggest on camping, but I would go out at night to see the northern lights if I knew by the end of the night I could have a cabin with a warm bed to sleep in, right? And maybe a sweetling or two to cuddle up with. That'd be so cool. Hi, Sloth, welcome in. I'm good, how are you? I'm doing good. We're just talking about things, just kind of hanging out. I've seen them over my house once, or at least I thought I did when I was a kid, because they really shouldn't be here. Hi, Nimmy. there is a, what is it called? Where it like, I think it was a couple years ago, maybe it was last year, where the Northern Lights, there was some kind of event that made it so in certain more southern parts of the states you could see the lights. And I have some friends that live in Texas that said that they saw it. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But so cool. It's been 9 months already since I started to be around sweetlings, right? And one day I'll actually find somebody to make a reference sheet of what the sweetlings look like in my mind. The misspell that I hide. Weemon. I'm the Weemon. We will always cherish. I live in Texas and no one told me about the lights. Oh no. Oh, scared. It was a while ago, but I know it was something that could happen. I know it definitely was something that did happen. I know I saw them once in person after driving back home from Illinois. It was very pretty. Oh, lucky. So lucky. I would love to like visit somewhere where it's possible to see them. Right? Like I don't think I need to go somewhere as far as like be in Alaska, though I would like to visit Alaska. That's where one of our really good friends lives. I would love to go visit them. It'd be so cool. I think I got a vision of how could we look like. Maybe. Because I've always imagined you guys as various forms of sugar packets. Just take a week trip to Alaska and view the lights every night. Oh, I wish. One of these days. I don't do cold, so I doubt I'd ever go to Alaska. True. If you don't do cold, I love the cold. I like even though right now, right, my hands are cold, my legs are cold. Like, I don't mind it. I kind of don't mind it. I would rather be cold than be overly warm and hot. You know. Head to bed. For the relaxing night. Take care. Good night, Denvo. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. Rest well, sweetling. Have a good night. A paper boat. Furthest north I've been from Texas is Wyoming. -12. Too much for me. Oh, that's very cold. I like the cold when I am inside by the fire with hot cocoa. After throwing snowballs. And what? Hi stars, welcome in. Okay, sorry, I had like a very strange coughing fit. From the older I get, the more I like the cold. I've always liked the cold, even when I was a kid. I would rather be cold than hot, even as a kid. Because, like, I remember one time when my aunt and uncle moved into their new house, they had a pool. And it was, like, December. And I was like, I'm jumping in that pool. And I did. I got sick afterwards, but you know what? Worth it. Worth it. Snowy place before either. I've been in the snow twice. I've been up in the mountains where there's snow. The first time, I cut my leg open trying to ski. The second time, I broke my leg. Same leg that I cut open. So snow and me are not on talking terms. Shorn. Thank you for the forehead kiss. It's never super cold or super hot here, just wet. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind living somewhere where it was constantly just like rainy. Tea, my throat feels sore. Of course. We'll give you some. We'll do a green tea, stars, with some honey and a couple like lemon slices on the side. And if you like, we can do green tea ginger. Be good. It's antioxidant, antibacterial, and it's soothing, so it'll help. I like 50F, just it's not super cold but not hot either. I could see that. Right now it's 45 where I am, and it's probably not even the coldest it's gonna get today. Don't you must hate your leg, right? It's almost always rainy here. Snow must hate your leg. Yup. Thank you, of course, stars. It's 49. Oof. So a little past what you normally like, right, Scared? But so the first time I was in snow, my boyfriend at the time, obviously no longer together, he tried to show me how to ski, but he didn't realize that the boot I was wearing wasn't maintained properly. Because I told him that, like, I was like, it hurts and it feels really weird, but it was also like really tight. And he goes, well, it's supposed to be tight and it's supposed to kind of hurt because you're not used to these kind of boots. And I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know if you're sure, but like within 30 minutes of me trying to like get my skis on and then go up the little hill that he wanted me to just like try and ski down, he told me how to stop, but I couldn't, like I just couldn't stop. So he's just like, just tilt yourself to the left, just tilt yourself to the left, so you'd like fall over. So I did, and that's the side that I like fell on, and that's also the leg that I cut open because the boot had a bit of the plastic from the outside broken and it was jutting through the fabric and into my leg. So that's how I cut my leg, because it was like rubbing up and down on my leg as I was walking. So that was fun. And the second time I was in snow, again, same leg, I was at the same cabin with the same boyfriend a whole year later. Went up to the cabin and he couldn't park at the top of the hill, because at the top of the hill we were on the property, right? But he couldn't park up there. The driveway was covered in black ice and his car just would not go up. So he parked at the bottom of the hill in a parking spot that was right there alongside the road. So he parked his car there, gave me the keys, told me to go inside, turn on the heater, turn on the lights, and I did. And then I went to the bathroom. And then when I came down to go to the car to take the stuff, because it was like me, him, and two of our friends, to like grab our things and bring it into the cabin, I thought I was on stairs, but it was actually like a pile of wood on the last step. And so the wood gave out from under me, because like I said, it was just a pile of wood. It wasn't a step, right? So it gave out from under me, and one of the logs wasn't completely chopped into pieces, and it was a full like half a tree. It was a full like trunk of a tree, like a piece of it. So that fell onto my leg while I was on the ground, because it threw me forward onto the floor and it fell on my leg. So yeah, that's how I broke my leg. Technically my foot, because it squished my foot and it landed like on my ankle. So that was fun. We love that for me. Right? Best thing ever, right? Okay. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna end on that story. But thank you guys over on YouTube for joining me. I'm sorry I wasn't really attentive to chat over there, but it doesn't look like anyone was hanging out. But let's go ahead and let's get ready to end for the night. Thank you, YouTube.